Hey everyone, EvaluNate here. I figured since, the internet is kind of on fire with the Nintendo Switch 2 announcement and reveal right now, I figured I would jump in with some of my thoughts. So this will be pretty unscripted, but I hope, you guys can get some enjoyment out of it. So I'm just gonna, skim through the Direct, check out what they released after the Direct as far as like pricing, pre-order information, and what have you, and we'll just kind of give my thoughts and then I'll just throw this up on YouTube and it should be fun. So yeah, let's start here with the Direct. Let me turn this down a little bit. So they led with this, getting at the Direct here. Sorry, my sponsor block's getting in the way. So yes, they started the Direct with this, which was, cute and lovely. I do like this new animation. It was pretty cool. So jumping forward, we started the Direct, and they immediately open with Mario Kart. And my thoughts on this new Mario Kart game, it looks pretty exciting. I like the new art style. It's definitely a little more in line with Mario Brothers Wonder, which kind of changed up what the usual art style was. Let's turn that down again. 24 characters is kind of crazy. That's more than Mario Kart's ever had, so online is about to get even more insane. Let's see, I'm jump forward here. Oh, turning up the volume, not jumping forward. There we go. So yeah, jumping forward a little bit. Yeah, showing off some new tracks and, the ability to kind of rail, slide, grind. That's what I'm looking for. So yeah, it's possible to grind on the rails, trick off walls. And yeah, we got the title reveal. So it's Mario Kart World, and it looks like each of the tracks kind of lead into each other, which, gives the possibility of a Grand Prix that's all just one giant long race, which is pretty neat. Unless I'm misunderstanding it. We can never rule out me just being dumb. This was cool. So instead of like Miyamoto, revealing all this stuff, it was the three leads of the development of the Switch 2, the director, the producer, and the hardware lead. So that was pretty exciting to see. Oh, I don't want French subtitles. Why doesn't French? Oh, interesting. They only have the auto-generated. Okay, won't bother then. So yeah, we had those guys. Let's see. Yeah, so they go over more of the features of it. And it, yeah, virtually everywhere. So it's kind of like an open world type Mario Kart game almost, where there's at least a specific mode they go over a little bit later that showcases that, yeah, it's possible to kind of drive anywhere you go, anywhere you want to go, I should say. And yeah, it's pretty exciting. It's Mario Kart. Mario Kart's cool and it's fun. But let's talk pricing on that. So jumping over to IGN's page here, they talk about the different pricing on stuff. And yeah, so you can see here, Mario Kart World, $79.99 US dollars, $80 US dollars. Let me even pull up the Switch, the Nintendo's website for it. So talking about it, it's a cool little website. But it go down. Let me see if I can find where the pricing is listed. Yeah. $79.99 MSRP. So yeah, it comes in the bundle. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Joy-Con wheels, that's always fun. The camera, where? There was something I saw. Maybe it's on the just regular Switch 2 page. Damn, where is it? To Direct. Look trailer. Where do you register to pre-order? So there's the Direct. Here we go. Switch 2. So yeah, the bundle. Talk about that in a minute. Oh, I'm trying to remember the graphic I found that talked about. I couldn't find it anywhere. Basically, it looks like the digital version of Mario Kart World is $80, but the physical edition is gonna run you $90, so $10 more than the digital version. Now, I don't know, we may never know whether this is in response to the tariffs that were announced today and recently for US customers at least, or if this is Nintendo trying to, urge people to go towards a more all digital. I myself am a big physical media collector. I have tons of 4Ks, tons of Blu-rays. Most of my video games are on disc. I have very few digital games because I like owning my games. Because digital licenses can expire. We've seen that happen with like digital movies and stuff, those becoming no longer available. And so I'm usually one to go with, getting a physical copy of a game if the opportunity presents itself. But to charge those people like me $10 more really, really sucks. I'm not a huge fan of it personally. Yeah, so there's that. We'll talk about more of the pricing stuff a little bit later. So then they go into GameChat, which, hey, you know what? At least they're honest. Frankly, this looks kind of like shit. It's like Discord if it was not good. Like, it's cool that it's built in and it's proprietary and, there's a mic built into the Switch 2 console itself and you can hook the camera up, It is very accessible for people who don't want to bother with linking Discord accounts and things like that. But odds are, the people who are going to be using this probably already use something akin to Discord. And, we see later it's possible to screen share. And the screen sharing looks really bad. Like, look at how low the frame rate is on those screen sharing. It's really bad. Like I said, at least they're honest about it and, forthcoming about whether or not it's good or not. So at least it's not like doctored to make it look like everyone's feed you're seeing in 4K, 60 FPS. Like, it's heavily downgraded. I'm very curious to hear like what the mic quality sounds like. I can't recall if we really heard it that much. I'm guessing it's not great because especially if your Switch 2 is far away from you, kind of hooked up to your TV, it's probably not great sound quality. So hopefully there's a way to attach something like, a headset. They do have the extra USB-C thing at the top and the headphone jack. So I wonder if that'll work while it's docked. I'm sure that'll be something we'll find out later. So like I said, it's cool that it's built in. It doesn't seem to be super functionally awesome. But hey, at least it's there and, we'll take what we can get there. So moving on. Yeah, Switch camera. It doesn't, as far as I could tell, that does not come in any of the bundles. That is something you'll have to buy separately. So hopefully they don't pull an Apple and make it like $100 for the camera. Hopefully it's not stupid expensive. I am curious because it hooks up via USB-C to the console. I'm curious if it can be used with other things. Like, could I just hook it up to my PC and use it as a shitty webcam? Don't really know for sure. But yeah, the background removing is janky, but honestly kind of all right. Based on what I expected from it being sitting kind of far away from you, it seems like it does a halfway decent job of telling what's a person and what's the couch behind you or whatever. Who knows if it's, they shot it in front of a green screen or not. I doubt it, but you never know. Companies like to be sneaky with things sometimes. So yeah, they talk about all these different games that you can play with the chat button. Switch 2 camera, available same day as Switch 2. Online membership, of course, not surprising, though it's only $20 a year for the basic version of the online membership. That's pretty worth it to me, I think. Odds are it'll get a price hike, hopefully not a crazy price hike, but we shall see. Though you can just use GameChat until March 31st, so, almost a whole year after launch, it'll be able to just be used outright without needing the membership. So that's kind of cool. For the early adopters, that's a good incentive. And they're revamping the Switch app, it looked like a little bit. Game share. Oh, this was kind of cool. It reminds me of like the DS days where like you could download like Mario Kart or Super Mario Brothers. If your friend had it, so you could play multiplayer with them. So this seems to be kind of in that same vein. Oh, let me go back here. Hold on. Yellow Switch Lite system only available at Nintendo stores. Oh, never mind. I thought it was saying something like the Switch Lite can only play Switch games, and I thought, oh man, could Switch 2 like stream Sorry, could the original Switch stream Switch 2 games? But I think I was just misreading that. Yep, Switch Lite plays all games that support handheld mode. I'm sure we'll get a Switch 2 Lite, you know, a couple years down the road, probably alongside an OLED refresh, which I'll talk about a little more later. GameShare is pretty cool. I remember when I first watched the Direct this morning, the Mario Odyssey thing being on GameShare for like multiplayer is just a little baffling to me, because Mario Odyssey's multiplayer is very much akin to like Super Mario Galaxy's multiplayer, where if you're playing with a second person, it's your little brother who begged to play the game with you and your mom said you had to let him play, so you hand him the controller. But it doesn't really affect your gameplay all that much. It's one of those things, I can't imagine most people will be using GameShare to play that. Now, Mario 3D World, however, that's awesome. You know, being able to get a few friends together who all have Switches, but maybe I'm the only one who owns 3D World. We can all play on our own systems. So that's pretty neat. I'm totally here for that. And then, yeah, planned for exclusive games, and they talk about the specs. Specs. I love specs. This gets me really excited. So bigger screen, same thickness. I'm totally here for a bigger screen on the Switch 2, especially with the huge bezels that the original Switch had. These have bezels as well, because it is still an LCD screen. I wish it was an OLED, especially at the price point, but, you know, I'm sure the OLED was wildly successful for Nintendo, so they're going to do another refresh a couple years down the road. I'm sure of it. So yeah, bigger screen, very cool. Same thickness, so oh yeah, high definition display. So instead of 720p, it's a 1080p screen like they're showing here. Which is very cool. 720 didn't look bad on the original Switch, especially with how small the screen was, but considering they made the screen bigger, it only makes sense to up it to 1080p, especially with the more power that the console has too. It can actually output those games at 1080p as well. 120 FPS in handheld mode. That is awesome. Only compatible games, of course, so I'm guessing, you know, big games like Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom that we see later in this Direct get some updates. No way in hell those run at 120 FPS. I think even modern PCs struggle to run those. At least Tears of the Kingdom struggled to run that in emulation at higher frame rates. But it's still cool to have. You know, some games, I'm sure like Virtual Console games will probably have 120 FPS modes maybe, or, you know, older Switch titles like Mario Kart 8 maybe, or Mario Odyssey even. I could see that having 120 FPS mode, which is very cool for people who are frame rate nerds. I'm one of those people. I like high frame rates. I struggled with some of the 30 FPS locks of like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, like I said, LCD panel, no OLED, but HDR support's big. HDR looks great. It can only look so good on an LCD panel though. But being able to dock it and have it use HDR on a better TV you have will be great, because let's be perfectly honest, the original Switch blown up on a 4K TV looks like shit. Most games look awful on that. The anti-aliasing is terrible. It's pixelated. Doesn't look great. So I'm very excited to play some old Switch games and the new Switch games, and hopefully they look, you know, passable by modern standards on larger televisions. Yeah, the magnetics look really cool. It's like a magnetic circuit that keeps it in there, and you have to use a button to release it. That was something we were kind of worried about when these were first getting leaked, is that it looked pretty breakable, or like it wouldn't stay on, but it, you know, time will tell once we have it in our hands, but it looks pretty sturdy based on that. So yeah, bigger buttons on just the Joy-Cons, which makes it actually usable, because yeah, using the original Joy-Cons without bumpers was kind of a nightmare. So I'm glad to see that those are larger. And the Joy-Con itself is bigger too, so hopefully less hand cramping for people who have adult-sized hands. Larger control sticks. No word on whether or not they're Hall effect or if they fix the Joy-Con drift problem. Who knows? Maybe. Mouse controls are interesting. Honestly, I don't really know how functional it'll really be. It seems like the kind of thing that'll be more of a gimmick than anything, because that just doesn't look very comfortable. You know, mice are nice and wide. You can rest your hand on it, but that is very much cramped, holding it in your hand like that and sliding it on a desk. So I don't know how many games will actually implement it. We see later Metroid Prime 4 has it. There's a specific game they had designed around that. Maybe games like, Fortnite might be able to use it as like a mouse control if you connect a keyboard as well. Or even not, like you just, move the joystick with your left Joy-Con, and the right Joy-Con is your camera and your shooty bang bang buttons. I do play Fortnite. You couldn't tell by my shooty bang bang thing, but yeah, I don't really know how wide of application, how many applications there's really gonna be for the mouse controls, but it's there. It's an option, so that's kind of cool. Minecraft might be another good one for the mouse controls. Yeah, proof speakers. There's only so good built-in speakers on a device can be. Every modern laptop or console with built-in speakers sound terrible because you just can't have good dynamic range on teeny speakers like that. They'll be passable, I'm sure, but by no means good speakers, Although I am biased, I am studying audio in school, so I can very much notice when a speaker sounds good or bad. Yeah, the built-in mic for the voice chatting like they showed earlier in the game chat. It's pretty cool. And handheld, it'll probably be a lot better than when it's docked at the TV. It'll probably sound better. That's cool. Again, we'll see how good it actually is. 3D audio, cool. Binaural stereo audio, that's nothing new to game systems at all. Now, if it could, I highly, highly doubt it. But if this can dock to a TV and use a 3D audio to output Dolby Atmos like the PS5 can, that's a game changer. That's awesome. So maybe it'll have something like that. They didn't say anything about it, though, and that doesn't sound very Nintendo of them to do, so I doubt it. It would be cool, though. So yeah, cool with the audio. Yep. New stand on the back. The original version 1 Switch's kickstand was notoriously horrid. So this one looks much, much better. Let's see. 2 USB-C ports, total game changer. Charge it in docking mode or have extra accessories connected, like maybe a headset, or I wonder if you could even use like external storage. I doubt it, but yeah, connecting the camera like it says here. What else? I don't know. Any other accessories? A keyboard maybe. So yeah, it's cool to have an extra USB-C port. You can never have too many of those. Larger storage. So yeah, 256 gigabytes of internal storage is amazing. So, your average person might not need an SD card expansion to actually have games. Question is, how much bigger are the Switch 2 games going to be? Because if we look back on all modern titles right now, Last of Us Part 2 comes out on PC tomorrow. That's 100 gigabytes. I don't know if there'll be any Switch 2 games of that caliber, but, games are getting bigger. And so I don't know if that will go the distance, because, like, if the PS5 came with 256 gigabytes, ridiculous. Basically, you might as well not have any storage, So I guess we'll see how much space that really takes, or if an SD card will be kind of required, like it is right now with Switches, with Switch 1s. But yeah, the new dock with 4K support, I was very happy to see this too. And I also noticed, I don't know if they talk about this, but it has an Ethernet port built into it, so you don't have to use a USB adapter anymore. It has fans inside as well, so like they talk about later, so it'll look a lot better on the TV. The system, the UI looks exactly the same as the Switch ones, so, I don't know if it's really a refresh at all. Like I said, the fans, which is cool. Yep, backwards compatibility. Which is very cool. I'm surprised they didn't have any sort of like little tab like 3DS games had versus DS games, so you couldn't stick a 3DS cartridge in a DS. But I'm guessing if you stick a Switch 2 cartridge in a Switch 1, it'll just say, this isn't compatible with this. You need to use the Switch 2 for this. So it's not a huge deal or anything. So let's see. They talk about, just a quick overview about what we saw. This, oh my god, this tech demo game. Switch 2 Welcome Tour. Looks fun, looks cool, but they say later, oh my god, I guess this is ridiculous. So they say here later that this is paid software. It's paid software. This manual / show off of the Switch 2 hardware is a paid software. That's ridiculous. Like, if the PS5, if Sony of all companies, can bundle in Astro's Playroom with the PS5 for free, that serves as both a hardware tech demo and just a fucking great game, why can't Nintendo do that? It's insane to think that this is going to cost any sort of money. Like, if it's 99 cents, maybe. But let's be real, this is probably $5 or $10, which no one is going to buy this. No one's going to care enough to buy this. The only time people would open this is if it's included on the system. So yeah, if I pick up a Switch 2, I definitely won't be buying that. Yeah, Save Day is a paid digital-only game. That is insanity. Oh my god. Yep, Switch 2 cartridges are red. Looks very nice. A nice Nintendo red there. Yeah, you have to have a special kind of micro SD card now. You have to have express cards. So odds are the SD card you have in your current Switch isn't going to work. So if you sell your Switch, just leave the SD card in there. The other people who buy it from you will be grateful. Yeah, data transfer. This makes me very curious about how things like pre-orders and picking your console up in the store is going to work. Because if you pre-order and you have a trade-in as part of that, do you have to give them your Switch right then? Well, then you can't transfer your data until you actually have the Switch. And the SD cards, odds are they're not going to work between systems either. So, I don't know. That sounds like a logistical nightmare. But, you know, maybe they got a plan for that they haven't yet revealed. We shall see. Switch 2 Pro Controller looks pretty nice. Has the extra C button. I was very happy to see... let's see if I can find the, here we go. Switch 2 accessories. Yeah. Joy-Cons, charging grip, Joy-Con straps, Joy-Con wheels, Switch camera, dock set, etc. Carrying case. Very cool. Here we go. Many Nintendo Switch accessories are compatible with Switch 2. So this site is very interesting. So yeah, Joy-Con controllers are compatible. They could pair wirelessly, but they cannot be attached. But the fact that they could pair wirelessly, like the fact that the C button is on the Switch 2 does not immediately disqualify these from working. So that's awesome. Very happy to see that. So I have like 3 or 4 Pro controllers. I could just keep those and use them on my Switch 2 because odds are I don't think I'm going to be using the C button all that much. If I really need to, I can get up or have the Joy-Con in hand to press the button if I need to use it. Or I wonder if you could like map a different button combo to open that. Like if I press, you know, left and right on the D-pad at the same time or something. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, but maybe that could function as a C button. Yeah. NES controllers are compatible with compatible games, of course. Super Nintendo works. Pairing wirelessly. N64. Charging stand doesn't work. Makes sense. I think the USB port might be in a different spot or the angle's not right or something. Switch dock doesn't work, of course. We expected that. Can't use the... So this can't power the dock, the AC adapter, but it can charge it, so understandable. Interesting. HDMI cable standards differ the one that's included with the Nintendo Switch. I'm guessing it needs HDMI 2.0 or higher for the Switch 2. Micro SD cards. You have to use express cards, like I said. Controller adapter can be used in TV mode. That's cool. I do have a couple GameCube controllers, so that'll be cool for the Virtual Console GameCube games, which I'll get to. Leg straps can't be used. However, you can... So this is specifically for a Ring Fit Adventure. If you have old Joy-Cons to pair, those will work just fine. So that's always good to see. So yeah, most of the accessories will work with the Switch 2. So it's very nice that you don't have to upgrade to the specific Switch 2 accessories. Anyway, let's keep going. So yeah, new Pro Controller looks great. Oh, and the back bumper buttons. That's huge. That's awesome for games like Fortnite or, you know, your FPS games. Those back bumpers are great. So it's nice that those will be built in. You don't have to get a custom controller in order to have that functionality. So very cool that they implemented that. Very, very happy to see that. Yep, audio jack's been added. Very much akin to the PS5. Developer article. I haven't read that yet, actually. I should. Yep, and then they announced the release date, June 5th. Just a couple months away. Not long to wait now. So that's pretty exciting. Yep. 3 game types. Switch 2 games, of course, like Mario Kart Tour. Compatible Switch 1 games. I'm guessing there are going to be very few Switch 1 games that aren't compatible. Like even something like Nintendo Labo, like if you just have original Switch Joy-Cons, you could probably play Nintendo Labo just fine. So I really don't know which ones wouldn't work. And then, yeah, Switch 2 Edition games. Switch 2 Edition. Holy shit, that was a bad voice crack. Switch 2 Edition. So yeah, like Mario Party Jamboree, they announced is getting some DLC with the Switch 2 Edition, which looks pretty cool. So yeah, they talk about that. Looks pretty fun. And then there's an upgrade pack you can buy. They have not, as far as I can tell, they haven't even specified, even now that they've announced all the pricing, how much the upgrade pack costs. Hopefully it's something akin to like Sony with their PlayStation games. You know, Last of Us 2, if you had the PS4 version, $10 gets you the PS5 version. Most of the game upgrades were either free or like $10 or something. So I am hoping that it's only something like that and not like 20 or 30, but based on the other pricing we've read about, I wouldn't hold my breath that they're going to be less than 20 or so. So yeah, Switch 2 editions of the Zelda games. Very cool to see, you know, higher frame rates. I am totally here for that. That'll give me a great reason to replay these amazing games. Zelda Notes is kind of cool. You know, they added Google Maps to to the Zelda overworld, and, you know, you can keep track of your things and whatnot. It's pretty cool. You know, not integral by any means, but, you know, it's worth noting that it's there. It's an option. And then Forgotten Land gets some DLC as well. Switch 2 edition of Prime Beyond that has the mouse controls. That's pretty cool. And then obviously probably enhanced graphics and whatnot. Yeah, 4K 60 HDR. Oh, that's beautiful. And then handheld, obviously 1080p, or you can do 1080p 120 FPS HDR for the higher frame rates, which is also really awesome that this is even an option for the people who love higher frame rates like that. Pokemon, it's getting a Switch 2 edition. This one hasn't come out yet. So yeah, very cool. They're also getting physical re-releases. If maybe they'll be $10 more like the other ones. Who knows? Let's see. Oh, this game, yeah. I can't remember what this was called, but it looks kind of neat, you know, being able to drag and drive. That was it. You know, it's probably a gimmick more than anything, just showing off the mouse controls and, you know, dragging using the wheelchairs to play the game. This is basically the ARMS equivalent of this console's launch. You know, it looks fun enough. I don't know if I'll buy this software unless it's like $10 or something. Maybe it'll be worth trying out. So at least it's a game and not a tech demo. Yeah, kind of cool. Not much to say about that one. Excuse me. Jumping forward a little bit. Oh, Elden Ring. Oh, wow. That is huge, getting Elden Ring on Switch 2. That's huge. A AAA game of that high quality. You know, it's not my kind of game. Soulsborne games are not my cup of tea, but it's awesome that it's an option. And playing it on the go, you know, because I know Steam Deck struggles with most games, so this being able to play that is pretty exciting to see. Hades 2 is coming to Switch 2. Street Fighter 6. I wonder if Mortal Kombat 1 is going to get a Switch 2 version, because that was pretty abysmal on Switch. Very embarrassing porting effort. So I'm curious if it'll get a complete revamp for the Switch 2, or if they'll just, you know, not even worry about it. There's this game. I can't remember what that one is. Yeah. Daemon Ex Machina. Oh, Split Fiction. Yeah. I'm playing this on my other channel with my best friend. You guys should go check it out. Link in the description. But yeah, it's very cool that that'll be on Switch 2. It's a great game. You guys should all play it and support it. And it's only $50 instead of, you know, $80. So there's that. EA Sports games, whatever. I could care less. Hogwarts Legacy getting a Switch 2 update. That one is also pretty rough on Switch. So cool to see it'll get a Switch 2 revamp with, you know, better graphics, better frame rates probably. Pro Skater 1 and 2, very cool. Hitman, I've never played Hitman, but Seems pretty cool. And then we also getting a James Bond game, apparently. I thought it was GoldenEye, but it's, I think they called it, yeah, Project 007. So maybe it'll be cool. Maybe it'll suck. Who knows? Can't remember what this one was. What was this one? Bravely Default. That's what it was. Cool. Not my cup of tea either, but it's cool to have options at launch. Yakuza. Also very cool. Oh, and then we got another Hyrule Warriors game. Hyrule Warriors 3. What was this one called? Age of Imprisonment, I think. Again, Hyrule Warriors, also not my cup of tea, but, you know, it's cool that they're giving it to us at all. So I'm here for that. Let's see what else they revealed. Hyrule Warriors 3. Oh, yeah. GameCube Virtual Console games. I'm very curious how these are going to work because neither the Switch nor the Switch 2 have analog triggers. So I don't know if you'll have to use GameCube controllers for those specific games or how those will work out. But yeah, they revealed that Wind Waker's coming. I guess it's cool that the GameCube version will be on Virtual Console. I'm still just completely and utterly baffled we don't have the HD remake of this or Twilight Princess available on the Switch and not even on Switch 2 at launch. I don't know. I don't know why they're not just doing it. It can't be that hard to port over. Maybe we'll get it someday, but I don't know. I'm done coping. Soul Calibur 2. Cool. Star Fox. No, not Star Fox. F-Zero. Interesting that has online. That's pretty neat. And yeah, control customization. Mario Sunshine. That one's already in the Mario 3D All-Stars pack. But considering you can't even fucking buy that game anymore, it's cool that it's on classics. Chibi Robo's cool. That's a game that's really hard to come by. Original Luigi's Mansion, Pokemon Coliseum. Some cool stuff that's coming to GameCube Virtual Console. I wonder if we'll get like Twilight Princess as well. They didn't say they did. And then yeah, special new GameCube controller that does have the analog triggers. Looks pretty sweet. That'll be great for Smash Brothers, and if they add like Smash Melee to online. Goodbye, Switch Ultimate community, because a lot of people really love Melee. Yeah, Wind Waker's cool. All the original stuff can play on Switch 2, of course. Deltarune Tomorrow is real. Chapters 3 and 4. Cool to see that announced. Also not my cup of tea. Borderlands 4. Cool that that'll come to Switch 2. I know there's some excitement about that. Civilization 7 with mouse controls. Totally makes sense for a point-and-click game like this. More sports games. Lord of the Flies, the game. I can't remember this one. Yeah, Survival Kids. Is that what it's called? Survival Kids. Great title there, guys. Let's see. Enter the Gungeon 2. Cool Beans. Can't remember what this one was. I think was this the point where the stream broke when I was watching it? It might be. So oh yeah, Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk on Switch 2 is insanity. Definitely no ray tracing or anything, but the fact that it's an option at all, that is incredible. What a great experience for Switch 2. That bodes really well for future games being able to come to Switch 2. Very cool to see that. Final Fantasy VII Remake. No surprises there at all. I'm sure we'll get Rebirth on there as well. Silksong! It's not a meme anymore. Silksong is real, and it is coming this year. Very cool. I never played Hollow Knight. I don't know if I ever will, but I know a lot of people are very excited about this. I am excited for you. It's real. Silksong is coming. Then yeah, they just went through a bunch of more games that are coming. I'm surprised Silksong only got like a 2-second screen time thing, considering how big of a deal that is, but I think it's kind of funny. I'm sure we'll get a trailer at like, I don't know, Summer Games Fest or something. Yeah, so yeah, Fortnite is unplayable on original Switch, so very happy to see that it'll be improved on Switch 2. Likely, excuse me, likely with a 120 FPS mode. Let's see. Yeah, so lots of stuff there. Then another FromSoft game that's exclusive to Switch 2. That's kind of crazy. It's not Bloodborne 2 or a Bloodborne remake or remaster like we want, but, you know, we'll take what we can get. That's still pretty cool that they managed to pull a From Software exclusive there. Just jumping forward here, we also got What was this announcement? Oh, it was the new Kirby game. What was it? What was it called? I cannot remember. Kirby Air Riders. That was it. So pretty cool. That one has been a long time coming. Excuse me. And then what I thought was a 3D Mario game turns out to be a 3D Donkey Kong game. So yeah, I guess they ran out of chances to re-release Donkey Kong Country Returns again. So yeah, cool to see that's coming. It does look akin to kind of a 3D Mario, so might satiate that community until we actually get a 3D Mario, though I am shocked we still don't have one. They managed to get a sequel to Breath of the Wild out before a sequel to Mario Odyssey, or not even a sequel, but just, you know, a new 3D Mario. We don't even have it. So I'm shocked to see it's not coming. It might be one of those 6 months after the console launches it comes, like Odyssey was. You know, I'll keep praying for Mario Galaxy 3. It won't happen. I know it won't happen, but I would love for it to happen because that's one of my favorite games of all time. So yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza launches in July for $70, $80 if you buy a physical copy. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. So yeah, you get the bundles. So yeah, very interesting. They did not talk pricing in the Direct. There's two scenarios for that. Either one, they didn't know once they had this locked. They did not know what the price of that was going to be. Or they knew that people were not going to be happy about the pricing, so they revealed it in just the press releases instead of in the Direct. Yeah, leading into that, let's talk about the pricing model we have for the Switch. So the console only is $449.99, $150 more than the original Switch. Also $50 more than what we thought it was going to be. Most people were predicting a $399 price tag for the Switch 2, so that's a little more than we wanted. And then with the Mario Kart World bundle is $500. So that's a pretty good deal considering the game is $80 fucking dollars. You're saving $30 by getting the bundle. Kind of a no-brainer to go with that if you like Mario Kart. I do like what they're doing with the register your interest. Basically, it's going to prevent scalpers. First come, first served, prioritizing users with a 12-month online membership and at least 50 gameplay hours as of April 2nd. So it's cool to see that. That'll hopefully stave off some of the scalpers. And I wonder if it'll be... Yeah, purchases are limited to one system and one of each accessory per account. Scalpers will probably still be able to snag some things with major retailers like Best Buy, Walmart, etc. But at least Nintendo themselves are kind of staving off the scalpers through this model. I think that's really smart of them. And it's cool that the gameplay hours was limited to today. So, you know, scalpers who didn't know that don't have a week to get 50 gameplay hours on their account and buy an online membership to get it. They're stuck if they don't have that already. So very happy to see that. Hopefully that means Switch 2 ends up in more people's hands, avoiding scalpers. So yeah, Switch 2 includes 2 Joy-Cons, 2 grips, 2 straps, the dock, HDMI, AC adapter, charging cable. Express card is expensive, as expensive does when they're branded. $80 for a Switch Pro controller. That hurts. That's very expensive. Very glad to see, though, that the original Pro controller works just fine. So, you know, I don't know if it'll be worth upgrading to that or not. I guess it'll depend on whether or not you like the C button or if, like, the rumble is greatly improved or something. Camera's $50. That's not too bad. I think I said earlier I didn't know what the price was. $50 is not too bad. Probably still too much, but, you know. Joy-Cons are $90. That is steep. That is I think a $20 increase from original Switch. Dock is also goddamn expensive. So yeah, this whole thing is a lot more expensive than we thought it was going to be, especially the games. And like I said, physical editions are going to cost even more. Again, don't know if that's tariffs or if that's Nintendo being greedy. Maybe it's a little bit of both. But yeah, you'll be able to pre-order, I think next week. Comes out the 5th of June. Honestly, I'm in the camp where I still don't know if I'm going to do it because that's a lot of money to throw at that. And especially with the new pricing model, I do not like it. I'm surprised it's Mario Kart of all games that's starting that and not like GTA 6 or something. Yeah, not super happy about it. We'll see if I end up picking one up at launch or if I'll hold off until maybe a Christmas discount later this year or something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much the information we've got on the Switch 2. A lot of it came today, you know, kind of a little bit drinking from a fire hose, kind of, when it comes to this information. But it's exciting that it's finally here. You know, we've talked about this for years, and Nintendo is charging these prices because they know they can. Because people have been begging for Switch 2 for 2 or 3 years at this point, and now that it's here and it's priced high, this is going to hurt our wallets quite a bit, and it sets a new precedent for the gaming industry. Would not be shocked if GTA 6 launches at $100 now. But, you know, again, time will tell. So yeah, that's kind of the breakdown of what was revealed with the Switch and what my opinions are on that. So, yeah, this is kind of a fun video to make, kind of unscripted. Talked a lot, but I have a lot of opinions. So yeah, thanks for joining. If we get more really interesting information, we'll see. If you guys want me to do more news coverage, kind of like this, you know, if something that's not as big as a console launch, if you'd like to see more of that, let me know. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, the whole YouTuber shit shebang. You know what to do. I have my other channel with my best friend where we play video games over there together. It's called Our Turn on the Xbox. It'll be linked in the description. I have a podcast with my wife that's in the description as well. We only have 1 episode, but maybe we'll get more of that later. We will see. But yeah, till then, I'm EvaluNate. Thanks for stopping by. See you later.